Not much can beat coming home after a hectic day to a full body wag from our dog or our cat purring and weaving around our legs. In human-animal interaction research, companion animals are often described as having a stress buffering effect. And this is the idea that our animals may soften the emotional impact of stressful events in a similar way that social support from another person. Now, a recent study by Peeters et al. Looked at this in everyday life with dog and cat owners. And rather than asking people to remember how their pets affected them in a general questionnaire, the researchers used a phone-based diary method. So several times a day, the participants would be asked how they felt, whether anything pleasant or unpleasant had happened since they last checked in, and how stressful was their current activity, and how much were they interacting with their animals. People reported a slightly better mood during the moments when they interacted with their dog or cat. And that fits what many owners describe, is that interacting with a familiar animal may be associated with feeling a little bit better. What the Peeters et al. Study didn't find was evidence that pets reduce the emotional impact of stressful events or demanding activities. In other words, our pets may give us a small momentary lift, but the study didn't show that they act as reliable stress buffers. And this is where some of the recent headlines have rather put the cat amongst the pigeons, because some press coverage has interpreted this research as suggesting that cuddling or hugging cats may worsen anxiety.
A new study claims that cuddling your cat might make you feel worse when you're under stress.
And that's not what the study showed. The researchers didn't measure hugging or cuddling. They didn't diagnose clinical anxiety. They measured instead broad interaction and mood at the same point in time. And that means we can't tell whether cat interactions increase negative feelings or whether people sought out their pet because they were already feeling pretty rubbish, or whether a different type of interaction was happening altogether. For example, interactions can fit under a broad label, whether we're giving our cat medication, the cat's avoiding handling, or sitting near the owner. And that's why we need to be careful when talking about wider pet effects. Because animals, yes, can absolutely bring routine, daily walks, play, touch, social contact, even humour and a sense of purpose. But owning pets can also bring worry, cost, disrupted sleep, behaviour problems, illness and grief. So rather than simply asking whether pets are good for us, the better question is what kind of interaction is happening with which animal and with which person and in what context. Peeters et al. Suggests that pets may help people feel a little better in the moment. They didn't show that pets act as automatic stress buffers or that more interaction with our pets is always better. While frequency may play a part, we need to pay closer attention to the quality and type of interaction. Our animals need opportunities to approach, participate, move away when they've had enough, and that's the bit that's so often missing from the headlines.